ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday, right? It is Tuesday. My people have just informed me that it is indeed Tuesday. Hey, what's going on, guys? I have I've bitten my tongue, and it hurts a little bit, and it's a little bit hard to talk because it's literally swollen. So if you hear me and I sound a little derpy, that's why. What's going on, Fahid? Happy Tuesday, my friend. Bitcoin currently trading at 87,732 and 35 cents. Let's go refresh our liquidation heat map and get a little zoom action going on. Right here, we've got 87,008. Oopsie. 87,008. We've got bottom of that. I guess I'll go to this. Well, no, that's not that much. I'll go right here. 85,745. And then the top range, we've got 88,336. And the very tippy top of that is 89,665. 665. All right. So Bitcoin is, as always, right in the middle of this little range. We are 87,757. RSI got a little double bottom bounce out of that oversold territory. Green dot of the momentum wave point to the upside. We had a brief money flow positive flip just for a microsecond. Could be mimicking this to positive money flow and a nice bounce eventually. I guess we'll have to wait and see, right? Until then, though, I guess my personal hope is to get back above this lower trend line, which is now an upper resistance line. Going on Tom Selleck's coat. A lot of, I guess, a lack of volume, a serious lack of volume on this climb, which is very interesting. This price is climbing while the volume is declining. Do we have? No, we do not. Okay. Yeah, we got a little double bottom green dot situation going on the momentum wave as well. We'll see where we end up. Kind of smack dab in the middle, pretty much, just under the middle right here and right here. I watched the new Knives Out movie last night. It was so good. That might be one of my new favorite, like, series? Anthology? I mean, it's not really anthology. Benoit Blanc is consistent, so I don't know, what do you call it? Movie series? Sailor, the only one buying. He definitely, I mean, at least he's scooping up enough to make up for the lack of retail. That's cool. Bitcoin dominance 59.38. Yeah, we got a nice rise out of this, which is not what we want. But it is what it is. Hopefully we got a little triple top going on here. That'd be nice. Get a little breakdown. RSI curling over. Maybe we get a bearish cross over the moving average. Momentum wave point to the upside. Money flows positive. We'll see where it ends up. 59.39 right now. I really want to lose 59 here and get some alt relief going on. ETH is sitting right at 0.03 in the green, I guess. Currently trading at 29.63. Right below 3K. I would love to get above 3K again. Money flow has been positive since December 2nd, actually. So that's good. Let's see. Okay. 29.64. Yeah, I'm liking all the wicks down here. Nice buy signal. Or signaling buys. We are potentially gearing up for a bullish crossover. The moving average and the RSI hadn't quite hit oversold yet on the 4-hour. We got a lot of action on the lower half of the market cipher on our momentum wave. Green dot pointing to the upside. Again, positive money flow since December 2nd. So there's a lot of bullish things going for ETH. As long as it continues, I think we'll be in a pretty good spot. But then we got that bear flag argument that everyone's trying to make. So Do with that information what you will. Solo's up 0.41% on the day, currently trading at 129.68. We will see if we can get back above this neckline, which we've broken below before. It's not a big deal. Every time it seems to have no problem getting right back above it. And when it does so pretty violently. You broke above, you got a 4% candle here, a 7% candle here. Is this one going to be 10? Maybe it breaks above the blue neckline, or the, not neckline, the blue upper trend line. That'd be cool. We'll see what happens. RSI got a bullish cross over the moving average. Green dot in the momentum wave. Money flow just flipped positive as well. There's a lot of potential signal-wise for Solana for some upside. We'll see what happens. Total 3, currently trading at 841.33. It did break below the lower trend line that we had here. That trend line being not a ton of confluence, but there's still confluence there. I think it went back to like August of 2024 or something. Yeah, 2024 August. Again, confluence was sloppy. We had like 1, 2 if you're lucky. This was the 3rd. So you can just as easily move that. The purple, I think losing the purple was the worst case scenario. So this yellow was kind of a backup plan. So if we lose that, in my opinion, it's not a huge deal. I would much rather not lose it, but it's not going to be the end of the world. I'm still holding out hope for that $800 billion bounce if we do end up going down there. But right now we look okay around 840. Getting back above 850 would be a nice psychological level to hold above. We did get a bullish crossover the moving average in the RSI today. Green dot in the momentum wave pointed the upside. That was incredibly oversold as well. Money flow is still negative, but that is not super important in this scenario. ADA is down 0.03% on the day, currently trading at 38.58. This thing's been lingering here since Monday, since yesterday. So not a whole lot going on. It does look like it's potentially, like if I was trying to shove this down your throat and sell you it as a bullish scenario, I would tell you it broke out and it missed it, retested this upper trend line. Now you can continue to the upside. That is what I would try to sell you on. With that being said, this 38.04 level, once upon a time, evidently somewhere, there it is, was resistance and support, I suppose. See, but then it looks like this right here, what is it, 36? Looks like 36 was a big one too. I'll put 36 there just in case. Right now, 38 seems to be holding. RSI trying to stay above that moving average, which is good. We got a break, and now we're hovering above it. Can we curl to the upside? It does look nice and consolidated as well. Green dot on the momentum wave point to the upside on market cipher as well. Negative money flow, but all other signs point to upside potential. See how it plays out. Snack is up 1.79% on the day. My super duper mega ultra poopy doopy bearish target of 0.0007772 apparently was a beautiful support line. As much as I didn't want that to be even relevant when we were up here or up here, we ended up touching it. So personally, I see that as a buy opportunity and I bought. Am I going to regret it? I don't know. Probably not, because I don't regret anything. We do also, however, have bullish div, which is very exciting. Our RSI is up, price is down, so, I mean, technically, it does only signal temporary reversal while the price continues down and the RSI continues up. Maybe we'll get a trend break, though. Maybe my optimism can extend so far that it completely invalidates any bearish anything in the entire chart. But 94.24 looking good. Just that bounce alone, if you would have scooped that, you'd be up 20%, which is pretty good. We got 2 green dots on market cipher as well. 2 confirmed green dots, as well as the green dot in the momentum wave pointing the upside, bullish crossover the moving average and the RSI today. All signs point to up, at least based on the indicators on the chart at the moment. XRP 193. Still below 2. That's not great. I would love to get back above 2. I think that would be probably the most important situation here. Otherwise, we're looking at like 175, 150. Tom Selk said 100% on your deathbed. You will think about that snack buy and ask, what if you hadn't? Yeah, because I'm going to retire my entire bloodline on that $50. Cheers, guys. Happy Tuesday. Not financial advice, but I do highly advise against biting your tongue, because it sucks. This is the worst I've ever bit my tongue before, and I'm like deathly afraid of talking because my tongue is so swollen. It's kind of tweaking. Like, I'm tripping out right now. Lunk is down 1.36% on the day. It does look like it's kind of starting to curl over, which is interesting. Is it going to do one of these, or is it just going to be a little rejection? Because it kind of felt like it was going to try to do that back here too, and that ended up doing the same thing. Is it just going to keep doing that until it eventually gets really, really low? I don't know. Volume's interesting, especially on the Do Kwon sentencing. Volume really picked up leading into that, which is kind of funny. But we'll see what happens. It's at 40.70 right now. Obviously, all psychological numbers are in play. We got an unconfirmed green dot on market cipher, a bunch of cloud on the lower half. So potential upside is there based on the indicator. You also got a bullish cross over the moving average in the RSI today. You got that bullish cross, retest, confirmation, continuation of the upside. So actually looks pretty good. H-bar is down 0.04% on the day. Struggling around 11.12. Yeah, it's like right in the middle. 11.45 right now. Is it going to get back above 11.5? I don't know. It was incredibly oversold on the 4-hour time frame. A lot of cloud on the lower half of market cipher. We'll see if that results in a push to the upside. That'd be cool. Yeah, that really has been lingering on the bearish side, hasn't it? Yeah, we'll see if we get any kind of consolidation, bounce, maybe pressure cooker kind of situation built up here. 11.45 though. Getting back above 12 would be ideal. See what happens. It does. Yeah, we kind of broke below it, rejected, and continued to the downside. Now we're kind of broken below and rejecting 11.50 as we speak. So we'll see if we continue down or not. Volume getting a little inconspicuous as well. SWE sitting right in between 148 and 154. Can we get back above 154? 154 was the nice support line that we had back here. We kind of like consistently stayed above that. I was wondering why that line was so straight. We consistently stayed above that since we broke above it on December 2nd. So getting back above that, I think, would be ideal. I don't think it's going to happen, obviously, unless there's something super bullish. We did get a green dot of the momentum wave, which pushed it up nicely, or signaled the push up nicely. You also got a bullish cross over the moving average in the RSI because of that push up. Can you stay above that moving average? And can your momentum wave flip bullish and get you some positive money flow? That would be the ideal scenario. Holding above 150 is also going to be a big deal. It's a nice psychological number. I think that's pretty much it. Like I said, it oversold on the 4-hour. Not quite bullish div, but it was close. Ondo up 0.17% on the day, currently trading at 41.56. Can we get back above the lower trend line? Is this going to be a fake out before the breakout? That'd be kind of cool. I suppose I would just want to see us kind of get back up in there. I could see it doing like one of these, kind of like a little fake out rejection, and then continuation. And even that could maybe be an inverse head and shoulder, or cup and handle, whatever you want to call it. I'm not a big cup and handle guy. Some people like it, some people don't. Green dot on the momentum wave pointing the upside. Bullish cross over the moving average in the RSI after being incredibly oversold. Let's see. There's also, no, there's not. I lied. I was going to say there's bullish div. There is not. Arrow is up a 0.11% on the day. Currently trading at 53.98. Can we hold 50? That's going to be an important level to hold for sure. Incredibly oversold in the 4-hour, bounced back. Now we're in safe territory as we speak. Bullish cross over the moving average in the RSI. Green dot of the momentum wave still in play, pushing the upside. Money flow is negative, but everything else looks good. See if you can get back above 55. Stellar. Not much to say about this. I'm going to get back above this lower trend line. As long as we stay at above 20, I guess it's not the worst case scenario. Could be worse, of course. Could always be worse. But we are also oversold here, or we were on the 4-hour. So rebound is possible, especially if we become oversold again. I would like to try to make a push to the upside, obviously. You don't ever want to have these extended moves to the downside for too long. And I would argue this is already too long. So even if we just got a momentum shift, started trading sideways, maybe sideways and up a little bit. But a little trajectory change would be nice for sure. Polka dot, nothing much to say here. This thing's kind of going in the gutter. A rebound would be necessary. Some volume, conviction, holders. It seems like the communities, I don't want to be too pessimistic, but with the entire pretty much lack of retail, it definitely seems like there's a growing despair among all of these ecosystems, and all of these, I don't know, what do you even call them, community members are just kind of leaving. I don't know where they're going, but they're definitely not sticking around, that's for sure. Okay. Skipping Fartcoin. Pith, not too much going on with this thing. It's actually lower than it was yesterday. Avalanche, same thing. Lower trend line coming into play on Avalanche, 1233. Really want to hold this lower trend line. If we lose this, I don't even know where we're going to go after that, honestly. RSI was oversold for a hot second. We do have bullish div here. It's the wrong kind. You know, it signals the price going down further while the RSI goes up further, but it does signal also that temporary uptrend right there. So we'll see if we get that. Maybe we reject this 13, 17 level or break through it. A lot of green dots. Green dot on the momentum wave pointing the upside. Negative money flow still. Unconfirmed yellow dot, which I think is supposed to symbolize or signal manipulation. But that's very tinfoily, especially for an indicator. Chainlink sitting at 1285. Broke below 1339, which was our horizontal support for a little while. Same with SWE. It's kind of a similar situation to SWE. We had a nice horizontal support and resistance. We traded sideways, nice little range, and then eventually broke below and continued to the downside. Is it going to break below 1268 next? I don't know. It looks like it has a relatively decent bounce up to 1284 off of that. So let's see if we can hold this and push back above 1339. Otherwise, look for 12 probably. Nice psychological level. And it kind of lines up with this first, second touch. The third touch would be just a little bit higher. There's a prevailing trend, very slight uptrend there. Volume could be a little bit better. RSI struggling to stay above the moving average. Money flow negative. Green dot on the momentum wave though. Momentum wave and cloud very much on the lower half, accumulating. We'll see if we get a pop to the upside. Silver's up 2.39% on the day, currently trading at 65.23. This thing just does not stop. It is a absolute freight train. 65.24 all-time highs every day, it seems. We had our little pullback right here, and the RSI got reset just enough to where we're not even overbought yet, and we're at 65.30 on the 4-hour. That's crazy. So 62 might act as a nice support, if not just 60. I'm afraid of this coming down, but it's so strong right now. It is so ridiculously strong. And when you zoom out enough, you can literally see the trajectory just slowly bubble up and then pop. So it looks good. I'm excited about it. Congratulations to any hardcore silver heads out there. You guys deserve this. 65, 30, 38. It's still going, man. It's still going. Go check out gold. Gold also looks really, really good. Again, this is not a trend line. This is actually a target line. But it might act as a trend line if we stick with that trajectory, which would be entirely happenstance. Potential bullish crossover the moving average and the RSI gearing up. Green dotted momentum wave pointing to the upside. Positive money flow. Again, I don't know if these indicators actually mean anything on these assets, but they look good. Everything looks good right now. DXY 98.22. Are we gonna lose 98? I don't know. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I hope so. I wouldn't be surprised to see it come down here to 96 at the very least. If it bounces or breaks, you know, it's up to the powers that be, of course. Market strategy up 3.34% on the day. A little recovery for them, 166.76. I don't know, man. I'm surprised that it hasn't gone down further, but I'm also flabbergasted that it's down this far to begin with. I don't think it ever should have lost 200. And the fact that it did has me very standoffish at the moment. About to get a bullish cross over the moving average and the RSI, or at least it's trying. It looks like a rejection, actually, but you'll see what happens. You never know. Still got plenty of time. And green dot on the momentum wave. NASDAQ up 0.09% on the day, 0.1% on the day. Recovery lining up very nicely with the NASDAQ fractal. See if that continues heading into Christmas time. S&P down 0.24%. The dumperino on this bad boy also continues until at least Christmas. Not financial advice. We'll see how it plays out. This is strictly based on the fractal. The fractal is not gospel. It's just an idea. But they do call me the fractal farquad. Bitcoin 87,609 and 81 cents. Let's go through some news articles. A lot of news articles today, so bear with me. We've got U.S. unemployment rate 4.6. Expectations were 4.4. It came in higher than expected, which means the labor market is getting weaker. The Fed will have to do more easing in 2026. Huge news, very exciting. U.S. unemployment rate rises 4.6, highest since September 2021. This I thought was just a great, a little blurb from Henry Cavill, who is a absolute giga chad, if you guys are not aware. Superman and the Witch Hunter, or the Witcher, not Witch Hunter, that's awkward. I think the Witch Hunter was Liam Hemsworth, and his brother, what's his name? What's the brother's name? Chris Hemsworth was the Witch Hunter. Liam Hemsworth is the one who replaced Henry Cavill as the Witcher. Tisha said, bear with you. Yeah. Long time ago, stuck with me ever since. Advice from an 80-year-old. There's 50 points every day, good day or bad day, especially on bad days. Choose your life's mate carefully. From this one decision will come 90% of all of your happiness or misery. Never deprive someone of hope. It might be all that they have. Never waste an opportunity to tell someone you love them. Remember that 80% of the success in any job is based on your ability to deal with people. And allegedly, he is very bad at working with people, which is kind of ironic. And lastly, don't expect life to be fair. So I thought that was nice, wise words from Superman. Treasury Secretary Besson says individuals may receive $1,000 to $2,000 tax refunds in Q1 2026. I don't know if this is because I have a dependent, but I get significantly more than $1,000 to $2,000. So I thought it was very funny when they were like, "You're gonna get huge tax returns. They're gonna be so big. They're gonna be $1,000 to $2,000." I was like, "That's not that big." Maybe I'm like a greedy bastard, but I know what I normally get. The U.S. economy added 64,000 jobs in November, above expectations of $50,000. Mr. Roberts said, "Hey, JJ, what's going on, Mr. Roberts? Happy Tuesday, my friend." The unemployment rate rose to 4.6%, above expectations of 4.5%. Unemployment in the U.S. is now at its highest level since September 2021. The labor market is still weakening. Yes, it is. U.S. unemployment rate has now reached its highest level in 4 years. Whether Jerome Powell admits it or not, the Fed has made a policy mistake. The only path forward is more rate cuts and liquidity injection via quantitative easing. This will be bullish for crypto. We will see. We will see. This one's really funny. You haven't listened to a single word I've said to you. Or you haven't listened to a single word I've said, have you? What a weird way to start a conversation. I'm going to show this one to my fiance. She's going to kill me. I got to share that one with you guys. It's a good one. Good laugh. Good laugh. We used to have a whole meme segment, I remember. So we're going to add memes back into the news segment to make it a little more bearable, pun intended. Riskett said the problem with unemployment is that when it goes over 4.5%, it always heads to 5%. Yeah? The U.S. economy has barely added any jobs since April per Navy Federal. I would actually argue that we've lost jobs. Haven't they revised it and it's been awful? Because they were like, the jobs are great. And then they were like, oh, actually, remember we said those jobs were great a year ago? We actually just fixed the numbers. They were wrong, and they're really, really bad. Didn't they revise the numbers? Crazy. Blows my mind, dude. Dagnum PI posted, this might be the end for Solana. On December 9th, 2025, a U.S. federal court greenlit a second amended complaint in a bombshell class action suit against Pump Fund, Solana Labs, and affiliates. The claim, a shady insider scheme leveraging Solana's validators and GTO tools to front-run meme coin launches, buying low via priority trades before prices explode, leaving retail users with billions in losses. This exposes blockchain flaws that favor the elite, potentially tanking Solana's reputation and future. That's pretty crazy. A lot of people are talking about that case. 75% chance the Supreme Court rules against Trump's tariffs, according to Kalshi. That would be huge for markets. Bad for our $2,000 stimmies, but big for markets. Mr. Robber said, I can't stay long because I just did a bunch of light upgrades to the XRT and I want to go run into the back so bad. Nice. Cheers then. Cheers. Happy Tuesday. I think one of my favorite memories from when I was a kid, I had a remote control boat and I used to play with it in the pond. And my buddies came over and I remember somebody like threw something at it. I was like, oh my gosh, that's fun. So they started scooping up mud and throwing it, and whoever hit it got to drive it next. And then the other two used to have to try to hit it with more mud. It was so much fun, dude. I don't know, goofy things you come up with as a kid. Federal government lost nearly 160,000 workers in 1 month, while the private sector added 700,000 jobs per the White House. This one cracked me up. President Trump to announce 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum tomorrow. Is Ethereum made of aluminum? Got a big fat dump. That one was funny to me. I told myself money would fix all my problems. This is a good coinfession. I like this one. I'm 18 and I just got liquidated for $135,000. My parents didn't know I had anything above 10K, and I just don't care at all about money anymore. In the past, when I was broke, I told myself money would fix all my problems. Becoming decently rich and losing it all showed me money doesn't mean shit. I still wake up every morning with heartache thinking about how I could have spent that money, but oh well. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly why everyone always says money can't buy happiness. Because it can't. It can buy time, it can buy comfort, complacency, essentially, and then eventually you find something else to be not happy about. I think you have to look inside to be happy. Watcher Guru posted, White House advisor Hassett says the U.S. is not falling behind China. This one cracked me up too, because like nobody asked. He's like, we're not falling behind China. Just so you know, we're not falling behind China. Everyone's like, did you say something about China? He's like, well, just in case you were thinking, we're not falling behind China. Michael Saylor says quantum computing won't break Bitcoin, it will harden it. Nice. President Trump to interview Fed Governor Christopher Waller for Federal Reserve Chair. Very cool. Japan approves $118 billion stimulus. Japan's parliament approved a $118 billion extra budget on Tuesday to finance Prime Minister Sanae Takachi massive stimulus package, including an anti-inflation measure and a boost to Japan's military. The 18.3 trillion yen budget passed the upper house, in which Takachi's ruling coalition does not have a majority but managed to receive support from opposition parties to enact the measure. As the budget was approved, the Prime Minister stood up in the chamber and bowed deeply. As is tradition on such an occasion, it is designed to pay for a 21.3 trillion yen stimulus that Takachi announced last month, including energy subsidies, cash handouts, and investment incentives in key fields like semiconductors and artificial intelligence. It also includes expanded spending on defense as China increases military activities in the wider region. We will implement strategic fiscal spending to protect people's livelihoods and build a strong economy, Takachi said last month. Very cool. Elon Musk begins funding Republicans for 2026 midterms, according to Axios. Whales bought 54,000 Bitcoin, $4.66 billion over the past week, the fastest accumulation pace since 2012. That is pretty crazy. Follow the money, guys. Follow the money. Coinbase institutional buying at record levels. Also, follow the money. Not financial advice. Japanese interest rate decision is in their December 18 to 19 meeting, with the final decision in 3 days from today. Current status: the Bank of Japan's current policy rate stands at 0.5%, unchanged since January 2025. The next monetary policy meeting is scheduled for December 18 through 19, 2025, with the decision announced on December 19th in 3 days from today. Market expectations: market economists and analysts widely expect a 25 basis points hike to 0.75%, the highest level in about 30 years. Strong signals from Governor Kazuo Ueda, who has essentially pre-signaled considering a hike. Reuters polls 90% plus of economists predicted. Reports from sources close to the Bank of Japan. Recent data on persistent inflation above 2%, strong wage growth, and a resilient economy. However, the Bank of Japan has not issued an official confirmation yet. The final decision will come at the meeting conclusion. While a hike appears highly likely based on all available information, it's not guaranteed until announced. Interesting. That'll be interesting to see what happens. Marty Party posted red flag. CZ, I guess, said that long lost feeling, being trapped tight. I don't know what the hell that means. It's incredibly cryptic. And what's even crazier is he had to translate it. And I know various versions of Chinese don't translate to English well at all. So who knows if that's actually what he freaking said. We're all just kind of here like, ooh, is that correct? Trump to give address to the nation tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Maybe we'll stream that. We should be able to. Asset managers are extremely bullish on U.S. equities. Net long position by asset managers in the S&P 500 futures is up 49%, near the highest on record. Since 2022, net exposure has surged 400%. Philly said, yo, what's going on, Philly? Happy Tuesday. Current positioning is now nearly double the long-term average of 26% and sits more than 2 standard deviations above historical norms. Furthermore, net long positioning in NASDAQ 100 futures is near the highest in a decade. Meanwhile, the S&P 500 has recorded 37 all-time highs this year, the third highest since 2020, after 57 last year and 70 in 2021. Risk appetite for stocks is historically strong. Very cool. Breaking in a sudden turn of events, Kevin Warsh is now officially a favorite to become the next Fed chair at a 48% chance, according to Polymarket. This comes just hours after reports emerged that Hassett's Fed chair candidacy saw pushback from high-level people close to Trump. Very cool. Billy said, hello from sunny South America. Nice. Very cool. You should send me some coffee, Philly. some South American coffee. They probably got some sick coffee down there. Federal employment in the U.S. is now down to its lowest level since 2014, following mass layoffs by the Trump administration. New home prices in China fell to minus 2.4% year over year in November, marking a severe acceleration in declines. I'm not going to read through all of this. The IMF estimates that China may need to spend 5% of GDP to resolve the crisis in 3 years. Home sales by floor area are now 50% below 2021 levels, and unprecedented value destruction. China's 2008 moment is now. Can we get ours next? I want so bad for home prices to collapse so that I can buy a damn house. Or for rates to just improve. I can deal with it if rates improve. The Fed is cutting interest rates. It's not affecting mortgage rates at this point. It's kind of driving me crazy. Global debt crisis is driving gold prices higher. Interest expense on global government debt has risen to an annualized record of 4.9 trillion. Interest costs have risen to plus 1.6 trillion over the last 3 years. Global debt has risen 55 trillion over the same period to a record 346 trillion. At the same time, gold prices have gained 142% and exceed 4,300 per ounce for the first time. Gold prices have tracked global government interest and expense with a near-perfect correlation since the 2008 financial crisis. Investors are rushing into gold as the global debt crisis deepens. Dang. Billy said, I got Peruvian coffee for 2 of my friends. I'll happily get you one. All right, bet. Breaking, President Trump says tariffs have reduced the U.S. trade deficit by more than half and asks Americans to pray that the Supreme Court does not rule tariffs to be illegal. Dang. I'm not gonna touch that. Crypto's total market cap has slid to 2.96 trillion, a 31% decline from its 2025 peak of 4.28 trillion. I like this picture, honestly. I thought this was sick. Latest, the White House has launched the U.S. Tech Force, forming an elite group of about 1,000 technologists to accelerate AI adoption, backed by tech giants, including Coinbase. I also thought that this picture was sick. I need to keep pointing that out because it's a sick picture. Coinbase State of Crypto Q4 2025 report shows 45% of younger U.S. investors already own crypto versus just 18% of older investors. Very cool. The SEC has officially closed their 4-year investigation into the Aave protocol, another random, frivolous Gensler-era investigation that was basically resulted in a gigantic waste of taxpayer money. MasterCard expands blockchain and stablecoin payments in the Middle East through new ADI Foundation partnerships. That's progress. Very cool. Adoption, slowly but surely. BNB Chain announced plans to roll out a new stablecoin aimed at powering liquidity across major application scenarios. Also very cool. The number of active Bitcoin wallets has fallen to its lowest level in a year. That one's crazy. I would like to see that metric on a chart because what does that number look like? U.S. audiences led global meme coin interest in November 2025 with 30% of page views, even as overall attention to the sector fell more than 80% this year, according to CoinGecko. This one's my favorite because it's just so random. In November of 2025, the Netherlands actually had the most interest, which is crazy. And then India, and then then Nigeria, and then Germany, and then Turkey, Vietnam. Oh no, I'm sorry. I lied actually. It's the United States. The Netherlands is that little guy right there. Interesting. So it is the United States. I never would have guessed the Netherlands even being ranked down here, to be completely honest. Everything else, Asian countries, India, anything in Africa, kind of makes sense. I feel like a lot of builders focused on those areas. Next, we've got advice from CZ. If you were ever jealous of people who bought crypto cheap and held through multiple cycles, think about what they did in moments like this. He's right, Billy said reversing tariffs would make the whole market explode, but people are too stupid to know why tariffs are a good thing. I don't know. I didn't know the SEC went after Abe. Neither did I. All these they're like the SEC ends their investigation into American Standard, the toilet company, or some random crap like that. And you're like, why were they investigating the toilet manufacturer? It's like the goofiest shit. And we're sitting here just paying taxes. Oh, yeah, that's okay. Go sue the toilet company. You can sue Abe and XRP 55 times and Zcash and like literally every. It blows my mind, dude. It blows my mind. Bitwise forecasts a bullish 2026 for crypto, predicting new Bitcoin all-time highs, massive ETF demand, outperformance of crypto equities, and deeper institutional adoption across markets. Thank you, Bitwise. I'm sure that'll help. Excuse me. Tesla shares hit a new all-time high. I believe fully self-driving is right around the corner, according to the rumors I've seen and heard. Stock Money Lizards posted the next leg will be great for altcoins. ETH moves first, then the rest. Chart is ETH BTC, and she did get a breakout, and she's starting to push up. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. And we've got Bitcoin. Can we hold and go back up from here, please? I actually really like this. We got 3 hits, and then now establishing the second from the top. So that'd be pretty sick if we bounced from here and just went absolutely insane. Simply Bitcoin posted, I finally acquired one whole Bitcoin at 28 years old. I'm assuming this is from somebody on Reddit. This is pretty sick. One whole Bitcoin, $90,973.51 at the time of posting. Congratulations, whoever you may be. What a freaking legend. Somebody said this will age well in 10 years. See you then. This one cracked me up as well. It cracks me up when people say, man, I wish I bought Bitcoin in 2010, 2011, 2012. Bro, shut the F up. You can't even stomach a 30% dip without crying. Don't act like you would have been holding since the early days. You would have folded years ago. Bitch, please. It's so true, though. Philly said, random tidbit about Turkey. Half of it is in Europe. The other half of it is in Asia. Interesting. I had no idea. Next, we've got Bankless posting. Prediction 1. Bitcoin will break the 4-year cycle and set new all-time highs. The halving is half as important every time it happens. So that's dead. Rates, everyone thinks they're going down. Blow-ups in this new regulated era with ETFs and qualified custodians, the blow-up risk has been much reduced. Very cool. We've got Ash Crypto posting, can we really see an alt season in 2026? Read this until the end. Every major altcoin bull run has started with the same shift. Fed stops quantitative tightening, liquidity comes back, altcoins move fast. Here's the part that most people forget. Before every big alt season, the market hurts. It retests support again and again. It triggers liquidations. It forces weak hands out. 2020 looked like this. Fed ended quantitative tightening. Alt market cap retested support multiple times. Liquidation wicks scared everyone. Then altcoins ran over 1,000%. 2025 to 2026 is starting to rhyme. Fed is ending quantitative tightening again. Alt market cap is sitting on the same multi-year support. Liquidation's already happening. Structure looks very similar, just on a larger scale. The market hasn't changed. It scares you before it rewards you. It cleans leverage before it trends. It shakes people out right before the real move. Most will sell on the liquidation wicks and watch the next cycle from the sidelines. If liquidity truly flips, this won't be a slow rally. It'll be explosive. And it might be the biggest altcoin run we will see for a long time. I'm excited. Billy said, Istanbul specific. Curious, when was the last time Bitcoin was in the 900 to 1,000? I will check. Jay Shear said, yo, sup family? What's going on, Jay Shear? Happy Tuesday, my friend. Philly said, Jay Shear doodle. Let's go take a look at Bitcoin for Philly. When was it $1,000? Last time Bitcoin was $1,000. Whoa. 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 That's actually sick. That is a sick trajectory line. Look at that. Last time Bitcoin was $1,000. right here. Oh, don't even go back that far. What the heck? I gotta go to... Jeez. Yeah, this one doesn't go back that far either. This is crazy. How do I, do I just do index? Or no, I think I can do crypto, the crypto one. Yeah. Because I think this measures all of the historic price data. Okay, last time Bitcoin was a $1,000 valuation was the very, very last time we got a wick down. Look at that liquidation wick. Whoa. Oh my gosh. Dude, people were probably freaking out, going from $1,200 to $800. They probably lost their tits. We got a liquidation wick down to it on April 15th, 2017. But before that, like without counting wicks, March 27th, 2017. That's actually pretty crazy. That was only 8 years ago. That's not even that long. That's not even that long ago, guys. Did the last bear market end with a final capitulation? Let's check that too. Where the hell am I? Okay. Last bear market end with a capitulation. Let me go to the daily. I mean, kind of. So we got this big fat head and shoulder dumperino, which was like textbook. Big fat dump, non-stop dump. This was what I would call your bear market, and then you kind of climbed out of that. But this is where I would say your capitulation happened. Is right here. You had this baseline 15, 16K. You pumped up and out of it. Looked great. 21, 22, 24. Bam. 20. That's your capitulation. Because that's what? 20%? 20% pullback? Yep. That is what I would argue. Unless you want to talk about, then you got this as well, which is basically 100% pullback. You went from 24 up to like 32 and then back down to 24. Nothing really obvious and whiplashy though. It really didn't last that long. Like from here, 30K to 30K. That's what we'll call it. We'll call it 30K to 30K. You're looking at, okay, it lasted, it was a little significant, 505 days. So that's pretty hefty. But if you count, like you get down to it, let's go from 46 down to this. That's 80 days, what is that, 2-3 months? And then this one, that's 200 days. So that's like 6.5, 7 months. And then from here, you start actually climbing another 6.5, 7, 8 months. And then you enter a proper bull market for Bitcoin specifically. Billy said, I'm full of questions. I wish more people were in here. What was the first legitimate way to buy Bitcoin, excluding airdrops and freebies? Probably first legitimate? That's a great question, actually. Let's ask Grok. I'm going to assume, I guess it depends on what you mean by legitimate. I think people used to buy it on like eBay and Craigslist and stuff. And you'd meet some shady character in an alleyway with like a flash drive. What was the first legitimate way to buy Bitcoin? That's a great question. All right, next. I share a lot of bullish news articles and, I don't know, puff pieces all the time on Bitcoin. So I want to share a bearish perspective. I feel like it's been a while since we've shared a bearish perspective. So we got Colin Talks Crypto, actually, the M2 money supply guy. He said, Bitcoin's path forward. I drew the sketch with a rough guess at the upcoming Bitcoin path. I expect this to be wrong, as the odds of guessing the market path as far into the future is nearly impossible. But if someone said I had to make a guess right now, this would be it. We can revisit this in 9 months and laugh about it, how wrong I was. The bright side, economic, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to read all that. Basically, he thinks we're going to break below the 100-week moving average. We're going to bounce off of this. He's calling it a head and shoulders breakdown. Oh, I see it. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Okay. And then we're going to go and eventually touch the 200 weekly moving average. Interesting. Which allegedly is at 62, 63K. All right, Grok said the earliest legitimate way to buy Bitcoin was through New Liberty Standard, which launched on October 5th, 2009, as the world's first service offering to exchange Bitcoin for dollars via PayPal. It published the first Bitcoin exchange rate, $1 equals 1,309.03 Bitcoin. Oh my gosh. Whoa. Calculated based on the electricity cost to mine Bitcoin. The first documented fiat purchase occurred shortly after, on October 12th, 2009, when early Bitcoin contributor Marty Malmy Sirius sold 5,050 Bitcoin for $5.02 via PayPal to the operator of New Liberty Standard. This was a simple over-the-counter style service, email-based trades, not a full trading platform with order books. Later developments included BitcoinMarket.com, launched in 2010, recognized by sources like Guinness World Records as the first proper cryptocurrency exchange with market-driven pricing and PayPal payments. Mt. Gox, launched 2010, which quickly became dominant but was not the earliest. Before these, Bitcoin had no fiat value and was only obtained via mining or direct peer-to-peer transfers. Example, the famous Pizza Day transaction on May 10th, 2010, used mined Bitcoin for goods, not fiat purchase of Bitcoin. New Liberty Standard marked the beginning of Bitcoin's monetization and price discovery. Let's freaking go. All right. Next, we've got stock market says goodbye to fear. This one cracked me up earlier. Stock market flipped to neutral, and then 1 hour later, it was back in fear, which is the funniest summary of the current state of the market. Philly said, so I had to go in the alley and go, buddy, to buy Bitcoin? Yes, you had to go on Craigslist and go to like Misconnections, and like you had to like sell pictures of your feet or like your dirty socks that you farted on for like a flash drive with like 10 Bitcoins on it. Yeah, he sold 5,000 Bitcoin for $5. Isn't that crazy? Gosh, that's so ridiculous, dude. You could have bought, what did it say? 1,500 of them? You could have bought 1,300 of them for $1 freaking dollar. $1. $1. That's insane. Can't believe that, man. Can't believe that. NASDAQ wants 23-hour trading, 5 days a week. A 1 hour break will be given so we can eat and shower real quick. Perfect. NASDAQ seeks SEC approval for 23-hour trading during weekdays. I love that everyone's jumping on the crypto bandwagon. They're like, oh, we kind of like this 24-hour trading thing. Losers. We did it first. U.S. stock market is in the advanced stages of an AI bubble, warns Rockefeller International Chairman Ruchir Sharma. Thank you, Ruchir Sharma. We are in the advanced stages of an AI bubble. And then, last but not least, we've got Raoul Pal issuing a warning for 2026. And I quote, the hardest thing that will probably happen in 2026 is altcoin season. And you'll see endless posts on X that I've made at 20x in a month. And you'll be chasing everybody else's returns. Most of those people don't make it. Raoul's tips. Learn to avoid FOMO, hold quality assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum, and steer clear of leverage to protect your portfolio. If you want to have a degen bag, keep it 5 or 10% of your holdings. And that's exactly what I do. Billy said, and if he sat on that for 15 years, dude, oh yeah, isn't that crazy? That's crazy to think about. I don't even we looked at it the other day. I first looked into Bitcoin in like 2012, and I think the highest it was in 2012 was like $500 or something, which is freaking crazy considering the fact that I could have bought one. I could have bought a whole Bitcoin like very easily back then. And I guess my only reason why I don't let that like crush my soul is because I only looked into it for like an hour, 2 hours, and then I was like, never mind. And then I moved on. And I never thought about it or looked into it ever again until today. Justin Makachek's bottom target is 85,177. We kind of slowly, I mean, we're close to T-Shoes, but if we do go up from here, I would give the win to Justin so far. T-Shoe, very, very close. If we are going by Price is Right rules, though, I think Justin's guess would be void. So, obviously, we'll figure that out when we do actually get a bounce, but so far it looks pretty decent. I also really like the fractal right here. Fractal looks great. Oops. Look at that bad boy. Imagine that's exactly how it plays out. If it plays out the exact same way as it did back there, then I want everyone to call me King. The Fractal King. Or something. Daddy Fractal or something. We'll come up with a good name. We'll come up with a better name. Only if the fractal plays out. If it doesn't play out and it plays out the exact opposite or something, I don't receive any punishment or anything like that. You guys still have to address me as the Fractal Farquaad. 4-hour time frame, 87,254 and 98 cents. Bitcoin is chilling. Billy said, so it's more than possible if you wait another 10 years, ETH could go to 15 to 25K. I mean, I honestly don't see why not. Let me ask Rock, where do you see the price of Ethereum? And I'm going to ask 2030 and 2035. Just Ethereum. Because it's very reasonable to obtain one Ethereum right now. 2030 forecasts, conservative estimates, 5K to 12K. Some algorithm-based tools like Kraken or BitGet at 5,600 with modest growth. Finder panel average, 11,000. Moderate base case, 10,000 to 22,000. Van X updated base case, 22. Driven by 66 billion in projected free cash flows and dominance in DeFi, stablecoins, and AI applications. Earlier, Van Eck at 11,800. Saeed said, "Hi, sir. How you doing, Saeed? Cheers, my friend. Happy Tuesday." Okay. Bullish outlier, 50 to a... Whoa! 50 to 170,000. Older ARK Invest scenarios implying 166,000 to 180,000 for a $20 trillion market cap. Extreme highs like 71K from some analysts. That's crazy. These people are out of control. Consensus from recent sources leans towards 10 to 25K, which is right in line with Philly's 15 to 25. In a realistic growth scenario, assuming continued Ethereum dominance in smart contracts, 70% market share projected by some ETF maturation, and real-world asset tokenization. Okay, I'll ask Gark about Solana. Moderate tools project 7K to 20K. Binder panel, 19K. This is for 2035. 7K to 20K. That don't make no sense. Bullish extensions could push 30 to 50 if long-term trends like global blockchain adoption and Ethereum's role in decentralized finance economy accelerate. Ethereum's fundamentals remain strong. It leads in DeFi. Okay. I see a plausible path to 15 to 25 by 2030 and 30 to 50 by 2035 if adoption compounds. Hell yeah. These are not guarantees. Crypto has surprises on both sides. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. What about Solana for 2030 and 2035? All right. Conservative 200 to 500. What is Solana at right now? Right now, Solana is 130 bucks. Conservative 200 to 500. Moderate 800 to 1500. Very nice. Bullish 3K plus. All right. Consensus from aggregated 800 to 1500. 2035 500 to 1000. 15 to 2K. Some models up to 5K if growth compounds. My view, Solana's blazing speed, blah, blah, blah. I see a plausible base case of 800 to 1200 by 2030, so a 10x. Oh, 6 to 9x, nice. If adoption continues strongly, and 15 to 3K by 2035 in an extended bull scenario. Extreme upside Van X 3K plus by 2030 would require Solana to dominate a killer app category with 100 million plus users. Downside could cap it much lower if macro conditions sour or tech hurdles persist. Crypto remains high risk. Do your own research and never invest more than you can afford to lose. Yes. Thank you, Grok. All right, guys. Portfolio update. Yeah, we finished all of our news segment. 1K to 10K Grok portfolio currently down 541. I'm not going to go through them all. It's down 54.1%. The meme coin portfolio down, 617, 61.7. The narrative portfolio, made up of one meme coin, one artificial intelligence coin, one decentralized physical infrastructure coin, one real-world asset coin, and one gaming coin. Currently down, this was a $500 portfolio, 229, which is 44. Hold on. 45.8%. Negative 45.8%. And then last but not least, the perfect entry portfolio, currently down 461, 46.1%. Nice. Let me see, is the narrative portfolio have any? Nope. Tau is finally actually going down. That's kind of crazy. All right. Solana chilling. We are chilling, guys. We are chilling. I can't believe how hard silver's going, man. This is blowing my mind. Silver and gold, but mostly silver. Billy said, "Why do you own Tau?" I don't own Tau. That's in the it's in the portfolio, Billy. It's in the narrative portfolio. It's one of the AI. Tau is the AI pick. What's wrong with Tau? It's actually carrying the entire portfolio. That's one of the only coins out of all four of these portfolios that's not down tremendously. It's crazy. All right, what was I doing? Yeah, gold. All right, fellas. MicroStrategy is crazy. This one blows my mind, man. I don't know what the hell they're doing. Bitcoin chilling, 87,328. Let's see if we get a monstrous rally heading into 2026. Hopefully we do. Trevor said, don't forget to like and subscribe, everyone. Guys, I'm going to call it. I really did a number on my tongue. It's hard for me to talk. I don't know if you guys can tell. Hopefully tomorrow I feel better. But for now, I'm going to love and leave you. As always, when Bitcoin starts to do anything crazy, I will hop back on. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow. I appreciate you guys for sticking around. Don't forget to smash the like button on your way out. Happy Tuesday and good night.